Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Culinary Wheel Challenge. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'd like to firstly say an absolutely huge thank you to everybody who's been leaving amazing comments. Super helpful, really keeps me motivated, and honestly, makes me really want to make more and more videos for you guys and making sure I'm always, giving my most. Now, a little thank you from my part. I'm gonna let you guys, the comments, decide which country you guys want to see me add onto the wheel next episode. Simply add the name of the country in the comment and a reason why. And then if you guys see another comment that you guys enjoy, make sure you guys leave a like. Because the number one with the comment with the most amount of likes will be the one I'll add to the wheel next episode. Alright, now that that's done, we're gonna move into this episode. For this episode, we added a new country, Brazil, to replace Vietnam. And we're gonna give everything a quick spin. Alright, now, we're back into the spin. I'm gonna list the countries right up here, so you guys can see. And I was thinking, should I maybe like rotate the numbers around? Because I feel like some people have been telling me that the wheel is almost like a little stuck on a couple numbers, especially on my stream. I always feel like it's always the same numbers being rolled over and over again. So you know what? We're gonna quickly shift around the order of the nations. You guys would have seen it on the list, and hopefully this will, I guess, diversify the odds on different countries. Let's give it a quick spin. What am I hoping for? I personally don't really mind. I'm excited to do anything, whether it's something I know or something new, because it's always a fun experience for both you guys, hopefully, to watch, and for me when I'm learning. Now, number one. What's number one? Mexican food. Woo! Okay, I personally absolutely love Mexican food. The budget, I think you can be pretty, open with anything. You can probably do a rather cheap taco that's still gonna be amazing, or I don't know, it doesn't have to be a taco, but I think there's a pretty wide range in this cuisine, so I'm pretty excited. Now, for the quick value spin for our budget, I think I'll also shuffle this around so it's pretty fair. I'll list the list right over here. I already changed it on my desktop, so you guys will get the exact equivalent right over there. I'm looking over there so I can see which comparison is which. And what am I hoping for? I think anywhere middle of the road should be pretty fun. Let's see. Number 10. What's number 10? Ooh, $15. Okay, $15. I think we've had a couple episodes with $15 before, but I am super excited to do this episode. I'm gonna do a little bit of research to see maybe what is available in the different supermarkets around me, so I can do something hopefully a little more exciting, more vibrant, and all that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this initial spin. Hope you guys are happy somewhat with the budget and the nation. I'm gonna do my research, and I'm gonna cut right back to when I have all the ingredients in front of me. Alright, we are back from the store. I'm gonna give you guys a quick rundown of everything we got. So for today, we're gonna be making surf and turf tacos. Now, for our meat part, we're gonna be making a flank steak taco. We're gonna mix it with a nice, top it with a nice salsa verde. Right up here, we got our tomatillos, cilantro, jalapenos, and our poblano pepper. All these are gonna be blended in with garlic, and it's gonna be super great. We're gonna roast them off to make sure that we get the right aroma. Now, for the taco shells, yes, you can make these by yourself, but because we have a higher budget, I decided, you know what, let's treat ourselves with a bit less work. So we got ourselves already pre-made tortillas. For our salsa, for our shrimp tacos, this is our fish aspect of the surf and turf. We're gonna be making a mango, lime, tomato, very fresh, refreshing salsa. Now I'm gonna move on to the main camera so you guys get to see the whole weighting of the budget. Alright, so now you guys got the quick rundown. We're gonna be running through the quick maths again. Once again, today we shopped at Whole Foods. We're gonna do the quick calculations, the weighting of every specific ingredient. I'm gonna put everything right over here so you guys can see the exact breakdown of our budget. And now I'm gonna move on to the very first step, and that's gonna be our pickled radish. Alright, so for our first part of our dish, it's gonna be our pickled radish and onions. So I got about an onion roughly chopped, radish really thin. Now what these are gonna do, they're gonna create a really red, because we're gonna be using red wine vinegar, a really red sort of aspect onto our taco dish. So this is gonna be mainly on our flank steak one. With the flank steak, it's naturally a dark brown. With our salsa verde, it's green, so I think this red touch is gonna be really nice. So you're gonna need to slice these quite thin. They're gonna pick up a lot of color, especially with the white part. I'm gonna add these. Now these are optional. This is only because I had a couple left over from my Thailand episode, and I think it'll be a nice kick. We're gonna add coriander seeds, full black peppercorns, red wine vinegar, salt, and sugar. And now a forma jar. Now I save up a lot of my tomato sauce jars just because I think they're super useful for things like that. I'm gonna list out all the ingredients right over here, all the specific weightings, and it's honestly super simple. You just simply put everything here, into there, and into the fridge. And we're done. Alright, so our pickle is now complete. Honestly, it looks really good. Got all that aroma that's gonna develop. We're gonna let this sit in the fridge. You can probably do this overnight, 24 hours before you even taking them out, but We're gonna leave it for probably around 3 hours once we're done our dish, and once we come to plating, we'll be able to take these guys out, and I'm hopeful that they'll pick up a little bit of color, and I'm sure they'll taste great anyways. That's it, really. Super simple. Then you can use this to top a lot of different dishes. Alright, now moving on to the turf aspect of our dish, we're gonna need all of these following ingredients. We're gonna go through it one by one. We got a yellow onion or a white onion, garlic, tomatillos, cilantro, lime, poblano, jalapenos, an orange. You're gonna be needing dark soy sauce, olive oil, salt, chili powder, I'm using cayenne powder, and a flank steak. Now, some of these ingredients are for the marinade for the steak, and some of them are for the salsa verde. But I'll give you guys the whole entire rundown of this specific component of the dish, so you guys get to see all the waiting. Alright, so quickly before I do anything, I'm gonna list the stuff you'll need for the marinade. Move the knife right over here. Alright, so far I've put the olive oil, the dark soy sauce, the sugar, which is optional, I like a touch of sweetness, and salt and garlic in here. Now, I've got 2 limes worth of juice that I'm going to put in here, a whole entire orange worth of juice into here, and then our cilantro stems and sticks. I'm going to top it off with the cayenne pepper, and that's about it. You just put everything in, let your flan steak rest in that, turn it a couple times, make sure it's well basted and all that, and then you're just going to let this sit in the fridge probably for an hour while you prepare the rest of the salsas and all that. Alright, so for our salsa verde, very simple. Get all your ingredients that I'm going to list right over here. And you're going to need to basically essentially chop everything in half really. And we're going to put them in a baking sheet, a little bit of drizzled vegetable oil, touch of salt. Gonna probably broil, not boil, apologies. Oh, there you go, that's the broiler being done. And we're just gonna broil these for maybe 5 to 7 minutes until they develop a nice brown outer sort of coloration. That'll bring out the real flavors, because they're gonna be a little scorched. It's gonna be really nice. And then we're gonna run all of this through a food processor worth of cilantro and a touch of lime juice, and it'll be just perfect. Alright, so our vegetables here have just finished broiling. As you can see, there's some nice brown color. We're gonna throw this all into a food processor with our cilantro, maybe a touch of olive oil or a touch more of salt, depending just to taste. Just make sure you guys get to, the right consistency you want. If you want it a little more liquidy, add a little more lemon juice, lime juice, or olive oil. If you want it a little more thick, then add maybe more like cilantro or a little more like onions and all that. Alright, so salsa verde is just done. It honestly tastes really good, really refreshing, with a slight kick with the jalapenos and the poblano pepper. Is honestly really, really good. And the consistency is just how I like it to top the taco, I think. It's going to be fun to plate with. And yeah, we're just going to store this right now in the fridge along with the rest of the jar. And yeah, we'll just wait until plating. Alright, moving on to our surf part of our dish. So this is the shrimp tacos. This is exactly what you'll be needing. I'll put all the weighting right over here. And it's essentially pretty simple. We're going to be dicing these tomatoes, dicing the mango, dicing the onion. Gonna extract both juices of 2 lime. Our cilantro we're gonna cut really thinly. Jalapenos diced again, very simple. These we're gonna prep them in a almost spicy, tangy sort of seasoning. So we're gonna be using cayenne pepper, paprika. You guys can obviously change this up depending on whatever you want. And salt in the end is just to make sure we season the salsa well. Very simple. Dice everything, put it together, add the lemon juice, and you really could season this and leave it to the side until we start grilling these. Other than that, this can be prepped probably even a day in advance if you really want to develop that flavor. But that's about it. Alright, so we have just finished prepping our salsa. We got the mango, we got the tomatoes at the very bottom. We got jalapenos, cilantro right there, red onion. Just gonna put our lime juice into here, season it with a bit of salt, give it a mix, and just let it rest in the fridge. Alright, so our meat and our shrimp have been marinating. This is simply with the cayenne pepper and paprika and a little bit of olive oil. The griddle is ready on up to 425, so this is gonna be really hot. You can lower it down to maybe even like 400, but you want a really nice sear. This is again flank steak, so it's very thin. So naturally you're gonna want a really nice sear because it's gonna cook probably within 3 minutes on each side, and these are gonna be rather fast too. Anyways, I'm gonna get going on that, and once I have everything on the grill, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. Alright, so everything's on the grill. I've done an initial small flip. These are getting a bit of color now, the shrimp. Our flank steak, not quite yet, but I'll give it a couple turns once it's on full high heat afterwards. But it's looking good so far and smelling absolutely amazing. Alright everybody, we are finally done and we're moving on to my absolutely favorite part, the plating. As you guys can see, our flank steak is cooked to perfection. Slightly thicker on the end, so naturally this will be much more cooked than, let's say, these pieces, but that's absolutely fine. Our shrimp look great. We got a couple just cilantro leaves right there for our plating later on. We got our pickled onion and radish. We got our Salsa Verde and our mango salsa. We got our turf and our surf-based plate and our lightly toasted tortillas. Now, we're gonna move to the elevated angle once more to give you guys the quick, I guess, time lapse of the presentation. Alright, coming to the end of our episode on Mexico today. Super happy with how things turned out. Honestly, looks pretty good. I'm way happier with the way, like, how visually appealing the surf plate is. The turf is not bad. I think maybe a little more vibrancy in the color of the salsa verde would have been nice, or the, like, a more sharp red in the pickled onions and radish would have been much greater to, like, visual on plate. Anyways, that's besides the point. Let's give everything a try. Now, the first thing I want to try is the salsa verde on camera. Personally, I've never made this type of sauce, or like this type, like a chimichurri sort of style sauce, ever with my meat. I think it could be really good when it cuts through the, I guess, like the richer, because we marinated the beef, right? So it's naturally a little touch sweet, and this acidity and slight kick, I guess, with the pablemo and probably the jalapeno really brings, I think, the dish to the next level. We're gonna give it a try all together. All right, for a presentation, I did have to put 3 pieces of, you know, steak on it, but probably not the easiest to eat. Let's give it a shot. I had to cut that because that took a while to really get through all 3 slices of steak. But honestly speaking, the beef is very tender. For a flank steak, flank is usually quite like hard, so you kind of have to really slice it thin and not cook it too hard. That's why you want a quick sear on the outside and inside. And because mine was sort of like lopsided on one side, naturally the like end bits are going to be much more overcooked than, let's say, I guess the thicker parts. Besides that, I love the combination. It cuts right through. Like the salsa verde honestly really helps. The slightly drier flank steak, if this was like with a sirloin steak, I think it would be even better. But I wanted to keep it traditional, and honestly, really happy. Rating on this dish, 7.5 out of 10. Looks, bring it down a bit. Flavor is really good. Flavor probably around 8.5. Looks, I give it a 7. So like, we'll give it a 7.5/8. Okay. Now for the seafood one. Looks stunning. The color, like mango salsa is something I've done in the past, like for ceviches, and I really enjoy it. It brings a touch of like almost sweetness and smoothness to the normal, like, I guess, harder textures of like the jalapeno, the onion, and the, I guess, tomato skin a bit, and it creates quite a good balance. Now let's give this a try. Amazing. Honestly, probably my favorite taco I've ever made. I love the combination of a seafood with a very vibrant like salsa. Super good, cuts right through everything, creates very like fresh. It's a different bite. Like I would love to alternate between these two because this one's more of a rich, meaty texture with like a more like almost like a creamier bite because of the sauce. Then changing it completely to like the seaside, the vibrancy, the different colors. It's just really fresh and like everything explodes in your mouth. Honestly, super dish. If I would recommend one of these two, 100% this one. It looks stunning. Would I add something different to the dish? I've tried in the past doing a similar type of dish with like garlic sort of like sour cream at the bottom. Not bad, but then gets a little messy, and I think keeping it like this is actually quite nice. Anyways, I'm gonna give this probably 9.5. Honestly, super happy. This might be tied with the banh mi. Yeah, I think this might have to be tied with the banh mi because the banh mi was absolutely amazing, but I think we have a contender, honestly. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what type of tacos you guys enjoy. I know there's a pulled pork taco and like slow cooked different meats. Honestly, it sounds amazing. I will one day potentially invest in a slow cooker, and you might see a different like rendition of tacos. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had so much fun. I am honestly super excited for the next one. Make sure you guys let me know which country you guys want to see in the description of the video, not the description, comments, and go like each other's comments so you can, we'll get a nice winner. That's it for me. Hope you guys have a good day. Peace.